This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Tuesday today, and that means a top 5 list, and as I always say, you've seen the thumbnail and read the title, so you know roughly what I'm going to be blethering on about for the next 10 minutes or thereabouts. Reasons why I think getting a stainless steel refret done is something you should certainly consider. My first experience of stainless steel frets was about 6 years ago. When I tried one of those first Harley Benton Fusion guitars, and I'd read interviews and so on and reviews, concerning guitars that had got the stainless steel frets, and I thought it was probably just a bunch of hype. You know, like, do you remember in the 70s, every single piece of metal on your guitar had to be made of brass? And then in the 80s, it wasn't a proper guitar unless it had like a Kahler or a Floyd Rose locking trem. I thought it was sort of along those kind of lines. And then I tried them. Oh dear me, I changed my tune rather quickly. And now all of the guitars that I play on a regular basis, including the latest arrival, this rather lovely Agrajag Guitars, sort of Telegib Jeff Beck tribute. All the guitars I play on a regular basis all have stainless steel frets, and here are 5 reasons why I think you should certainly consider having the same mod done yourself.
You never need any fretwork doing ever again.
They never wear out. I know Nick Jennison, which one does he kind of belong to? Is he Premier Guitar or Guitar Interactive? I always get those two mixed up. Lovely guy, hell of a player. Sometimes try and catch his Monday night live streams if I'm not teaching. But yeah, he in one of those live streams said that he's worn out stainless steel frets on his guitars, and I'm like, how is that possible? Because stainless steel is a harder metal than the metal that your strings are made of, so I don't see how the strings are going to wear away the stainless steel frets. I think it is generally accepted, though, that they are much more hard wearing than the regular nickel frets that you get in many guitars, in most guitars in fact. During the 90s, I think from 1989 through till, well, I'm going to say about 2004 or thereabouts, my main gigging instrument was a Japanese-made Fender 60s reissue Strat, and that guitar got some hammering, I'm going to tell you. It got refretted, I think, twice. The first time, that was, I had a high fret, and like a numpty, I tried knocking it down with what I thought was a soft hammer, and it completely butchered the fret, so it had to go in for a refret. And the guy who did it, a guy who had done a video on recently actually, the late great Jim Cairns, put jumbo frets in it for me. And then I wore those down by about this, I think that was probably about 1991 when that happened. Then by about 97 it was in need of another refret, because I'd worn those down so much. And you know, it's not a cheap undertaking to get a guitar refretted and have it done properly. So you never ever have to do that again. You never ever have to have your frets leveled and crowned. You know, they're just there. They feel brand new forever. And, you know, that's got something to be said for it, I think. So it's, you know, it's a little bit more outlay, you know, when you get the refret done, but it pays dividends in the long run, because that's it, it's future-proofed. So that's the first reason. Let's see what's next.
They feel utterly fantastic.
nothing compares to the feel of playing on stainless steel frets. It's just like going from, do you remember the old days of dial-up modems, and then you got your first broadband connection, and the difference between dial-up and broadband was like, dear me, this is incredible. You know, that for me, just your mileage may vary, but for me that was on a par with the difference between playing on like nickel frets and playing stainless steel frets. They just feel so silky and glassy and smooth, and you know, it's like, you know, when people talk about on a heavily kind of gloss lacquered neck, it gets a little bit sticky and, you know, impedes movement. I sometimes find that's the case, but it's not really a thing that bothers me that much. On balance, I prefer a satin finish to gloss, but, you know, it's not a deal breaker in most cases. But I did used to find that, you know, just rough or not rough necessarily, but just, you know, frets that weren't as kind of silky and shiny and mirror finished as what you get with stainless steel would kind of make me feel a little bit like I was running. You've seen this, yeah? Can you imagine this running? But I used to do that actually. I used to be quite the gym bunny back in the day. But you know, it's like running with kind of weights on your shoes, but then you go to stainless frets and suddenly it's not. They just feel, it's, you know, it's like you're flying all over the place. Utterly beautiful, tactile, glassy, silky experience to play on, and I love it. And you know, that's a main reason why every guitar that I get that's going to be, you know, sort of in regular rotation will always end up getting that mod done sooner or later. Next.
You'll be cured of gas.
Certainly cured me of gas. If you're not sure about gas, it's guitar acquisition syndrome. Oh, the time I used to spend scrolling through eBay on my phone, looking at, you know, oh, I could afford that. Oh, yes, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, look, there's, you can pay in installments. Oh, yeah, no, that's none of that anymore, because I just look at some, you know, core PRS that's about $3,500, or some custom shop Gibson that's about the same sort of price, or, you know, some high-end Fender or whatever. And I just think, well, yeah, but it hasn't got stainless steel frets. Swipe next, you know. And it's certainly, I don't go kind of fantasy guitar shopping as much these days, since I've, and I will admit it's an addiction, since I've got this addiction to stainless steel frets. You know, so it's certainly. I'm going to justify it by saying it certainly saved me money. There are guitars that I wouldn't have bought, that I would have bought, that I didn't buy, because, well, yeah, they're not stainless frets. Jog on, you know, and so yeah, it saves you money. It certainly has for me. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Next.
Your guitar gets an MOT.
Yeah, when I was putting this one together, I forgot that perhaps not everybody knows what an MOT is. MOT stands for Ministry of Transport, and the MOT test is the roadworthiness test that every car has to pass in the UK to be on the road legally. And it's just become sort of a phrase in Britain where everything, any kind of annual checkup of anything, is referred to as an MOT. Just kind of, yeah, let's give it an MOT and get it back to peak condition. I got a letter from my doctor the other day saying that they wanted me to go in for my annual MOT, you know, because they do that when you're a gentleman of a certain age. And that's certainly true what happens when you get a stainless steel refret done, you know, or any kind of refret for that matter. You basically take it into somewhere like Agrajag or whoever your local luthier is, you know, Crimson, Sam Deeks, whoever. I was going to say Milo Studios then, but he doesn't do setups and stuff, does he? He's more into doing the builds and stuff. But, you know, you take your guitar into that kind of establishment and they are going to put it under the microscope and they are going to fettle it up and, you know, basically give it a good setup. You know, there are certain levels of setup, you know. We all, I think, know the train, you know, tune, relief, tune, relief, action, intonation and nut. You know, that's the sort of procedure you go through, but there are... if you're getting your guitar refretted, then it tends to be a little bit more forensic than that, because it has to be. And, you know, so your guitar comes back not only with perfectly silky, glassy, indestructible, smooth feeling frets, but, you know, it feels like a brand new guitar. All of the attention to detail that you would get on some boutique instrument, you know, Tom Anderson, Sir, that kind of level of instrument, some sort of custom shop vibe. You know, that's where the money is spent, mainly on those guitars, just that sort of forensic kind of real attention to the minutest detail. Okay, well, that all gets applied to your guitar when you take it in for this kind of work being done on it. And so you'll get a guitar back with some lovely frets on it, but everything else about it will also be absolutely tip top. It will be in the peak of physical condition, just like me. You know, but excuse me, my phone just pinging there at an inopportune moment. So yeah, your guitar gets dialed into absolute tip top condition. It's another reason to have this work done. Next.
For what you get, it's a bargain.
As I was saying in the last point there, you know, it does make just an ordinary sort of run-of-the-mill, let's say, £400 to £600 guitar, or a little bit of leeway either side of that. It does make that guitar feel like something that came from some boutique custom shop somewhere. So, you know, I mean, I think Agrajag charge about £300 for a stainless steel refret. Or put it another way, they charge about the same as you would pay for a Squier classic vibe guitar, right? So if you've got a bit of gas going on, if you're kind of thinking, hankering after a new guitar, because we all do from time to time, despite, you know, what I said earlier, if you've got that sort of itch to go out and get something shiny and new, why not make the shiny new thing the frets on your favourite guitar? Because it will come back feeling like $1 million. It will come back feeling like a $4,000 Sir or Tom Anderson or, you know, insert name of other boutique builder. And it will just be, you'll get that same kind of buzz from having the new guitar, but, you know, you haven't kind of had to justify. It's, you know, with, you know, kind of your missus or whoever is your significant other, I find it's a lot easier to justify having some maintenance done, because that's what you can class it as, maintenance done on an existing guitar, than it is to get a new one through the door. So that's bears thinking about, doesn't it? So yeah, you know, if you've got, like I say, let's call it a 500 quid guitar, you spend 300 quid on a stainless steel refret, and it comes back feeling like a $4,000 guitar, how can you class that as anything other than a bargain? Yes, there will be some people saying, yeah, but you're never going to get that money back when you sell the guitar. Well, no, that's true, but that's why I would recommend you only do this to guitars that you know are going to be keepers, which is what I've done with all of mine. So it's a bargain for what you spend, for the outlay involved. I think it's an absolute bargain because of what you get in return, which is, you know, for a few hundred quid you get something that feels like a few thousand quid's worth of guitar. How is that anything to not like? So there you go, folks. I often get asked why I love stainless steel frets, and I've tried to map it out here as succinctly as I can. Probably not that succinctly, though, because I do have a sort of tendency to waffle, but that's just what it is. hope you've found that useful. Hope it's answered some questions. Maybe it's even made you think about getting the stainless steel fret thing done yourself. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. And don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about stuff. That's it. It's beer and chat on a Friday. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.